Voyager 1, after cruising through space for over 40 years, has sent back some fascinating information. It was only meant to last 5 years, but it kept going way past its original mission. Now, Voyager 1 has spotted 300 weird things floating around out there. Turns out, these might be leftover bits of plasma from huge stars that blew up ages ago. Want to check out what Voyager 1 found? Back in the day, we could only get info from our own solar system, but now, Voyager is sending back data from way beyond. In 2012, it officially crossed the edge of our solar system, known as the heliopause. It wasn't easy, though. As the probe got further from the sun, it had less solar power to keep everything running. Voyager 1 gets its power from these generators that turn heat from plutonium into electricity. But as the plutonium decays, the generators make less power. This means some of the instruments and systems aren't working as well as they used to. So, they've had to turn off some stuff to save power. At some point, they'll probably have to shut down entire systems to keep Voyager 1 going for as long as possible. It's getting old, but it's still sending back cool stuff. The huge distance between Voyager 1 and Earth is a real problem. As it gets further away, the signal gets weaker. It takes over 21 hours for a message to reach us. Plus, the weak signal gets messed up by cosmic background radiation, making it even harder to get the data. Also, the temperature is very different out there. Inside our solar system, it was warmer. But now, in interstellar space, it's freezing cold. Voyager 1 has dust sensors to measure particle density, but because of power issues, it's harder to get data overall. NASA needs all its big antennas to pick up Voyager's signals, so they can't talk to it as often as they used to. But guess what? Voyager 1 spotted something weird. Mixed in with all the usual data, it found 300 mystery objects moving through space. Scientists are puzzled. Are these pieces of old cosmic stuff, leftovers from distant star systems, or something completely new? Normally, the data from Voyager is pretty easy to read. But this time, it was all garbled up, so there's a lot of questions and not too many answers. The strange thing is, even with the weird data, Voyager 1 kept working fine. It was still able to send signals to Earth. It doesn't seem to be in direct danger to any hostile event because none of its safety systems triggered. So, what's going on? Is it cosmic radiation messing things up? Or something totally new that we don't understand? The only thing to do was to check everything very carefully. The NASA team looked at all the parts of the probe, considered how space radiation might mess up the electronics, and how the different temperatures could damage the instruments. Some people thought something might have happened right before Voyager left the solar system. Maybe some shift in its path that changed its data output. But that theory didn't seem too plausible. The team looked at the communication systems, searching for problems caused by cosmic static or even small changes in Voyager's position. They checked everything they could think of. The investigation took weeks. They used special computer programs and ran simulations to figure out what was causing the strange data. It was a long shot, but it paid off. After trying to decode the signals for months, the NASA team finally got clear data. It turned out that the problem was with the Attitude Articulation and Control System, or AACS. There was an old computer on board that wasn't supposed to be running, and it started being utilized. That caused all the data to get messed up. But the rest of Voyager's systems were fine. Once they knew what was wrong, the engineers sent commands to Voyager 1 to switch back to the right computer. It was pretty low risk, but they had to be patient because it takes so long for messages to travel that distance. Each message took almost 22 hours to go to Voyager 1 and back. The thing is, Voyager 1 is really old. The engineers had to dig through documents from the 1970s to figure out how to fix it. After a lot of review, they found a simple solution that fixed the data problem without messing anything else up. Their hard work paid off. The engineers think the wrong computer started running because of some glitch in another system on the spacecraft. This could point to a bigger issue with Voyager's systems. The mission leaders are pretty optimistic, though, and don't think this problem will affect Voyager 1 too much in the long run. After the fix, the spacecraft went back to sending stable data. Thanks for checking this out. As Voyager 1 keeps going through deep space, its latest discoveries are really interesting. Spotting those 300 strange objects, probably plasma clouds from supernovas, has made scientists all over the world curious and has them thinking about what else might be out there. These plasma clouds give us some clues about the galaxy. Scientists think studying them can tell us more about how matter moves around the galaxy, how stars blow up, and where new star systems come from. This mission shows us that Voyager 1 is still important. It's still teaching us new things about space. Despite being so old, Voyager 1 is one of the coolest things humans have ever built. Its tools, even though they're old, still work because the team is careful with power and works hard to keep it going. Every bit of data it sends back is amazing. What makes this extra special is the golden record on board Voyager 1, a time capsule with sounds and images from Earth. It's designed to tell alien life about us, if they ever find it. It has greetings in tons of languages, music from Beethoven to Chuck Berry, and recordings of Earth sounds like babies crying and ocean waves. This record represents humanity's imagination, empathy, and hope of making contact with the universe, even if it's only to say we were here. In the future, Voyager 1 will eventually stop working. Its power generators are getting weaker and probably won't last more than a few years. By 2030, most of its instruments will be turned off. But it will keep drifting through space, carrying our message. Voyager 1 is a reminder that exploration is about more than just finding things. It's about making a difference. It shows us that learning is always worth it, no matter how far we have to go or where we end up. So, as we wait for Voyager 1's next message, we should be grateful for what it has taught us, what it's still teaching us, and the hope it gives to anyone who looks up at the stars. Even now, it's still sending back super useful info. It's just that it's really, really far away. The signal from Voyager is getting weaker all the time, and it takes over 21 hours for a message to reach us. Plus, there's a lot of background noise in space that makes it even harder to get the data. And the temperature out there is crazy cold compared to back near the sun. Voyager has dust sensors to measure space stuff, but with less power, it's harder to talk to it. NASA has to use its big antennas all over the world to pick up Voyager's signals. So, we don't get to chat as often as we used to. But here's the crazy part: they spotted about 300 weird objects out in space. What are they? Nobody's totally sure. Are they pieces of old stars? Just floating space junk? Something totally new? Usually, Voyager's data is easy to read. But this time, it was all jumbled up. It was like it was speaking a different language. But the weird thing was, Voyager itself seemed fine. It kept sending signals, and everything else seemed to be working. It wasn't like it was being attacked or anything. So, what was going on? Maybe space radiation messed things up? Maybe it was something we've never seen before? NASA's team took a close look at everything. They thought about how radiation could mess with the electronics and how the cold could hurt the instruments. They even wondered if something happened right before Voyager left the solar system that screwed things up. They checked everything about Voyager's communication system, looking for anything that could be causing the problem. It took weeks, but they finally figured it out. They used special computer programs to help them decode the signals. The problem was with the part of Voyager that controls its position in space. It started using a backup computer that hadn't been turned on in years, and that messed up the data. The rest of Voyager was still working fine, though. To fix it, the engineers sent commands to Voyager telling it to switch back to the right computer. It wasn't risky, but it took a long time because the signals had to travel so far. Plus, Voyager is so old that the engineers had to dig up manuals from the 1970s. In the end, they got it working again without breaking anything else. It just goes to show how important it is to keep that old knowledge around. The engineers think the backup computer probably got turned on by accident because of a glitch in another part of Voyager's system. But they're not too worried about it messing things up in the long run. So, Voyager is back to sending good data again. As Voyager keeps going, those 300 weird objects that are probably plasma clouds from supernovas have gotten scientists super excited. It makes you wonder what else is out there. These plasma clouds can tell us a lot about the universe. Scientists can learn about how stuff moves around the galaxy, how stars die, and how new stars are made. Voyager isn't just some old piece of junk. It's still teaching us new things all the time. Even though its instruments are old, they're still working thanks to careful planning and the hard work of the people who support it. Every bit of data we get from it is a small victory. And let's not forget the golden record on board Voyager. It's like a time capsule filled with sounds and pictures from Earth, made for any aliens that might find it someday. It has greetings in all sorts of languages, music, and sounds like babies crying and waves crashing. It's a way of saying, hey, we were here. Eventually, Voyager's power will run out completely. Probably around 2030, they'll have to turn off most of its instruments. But it will keep floating through space, carrying our message. Voyager reminds us that exploring isn't just about finding stuff. It's about what we learn and how it inspires us.